In this particular slide, we are going to talk about what is data science. So I think everybody wants to know what is data science. We have so many jargons and tech terms which are being used interchangeably in the market. Like we have data science, somebody is using the term data science, somebody is using the term machine learning, somebody is using the term artificial intelligence, and somebody is rather using the word deep learning. So we need to understand what is a data science and what are the different other areas which actually is part of data science but not exactly the data science. And there is actually a fine line of difference between data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and of course deep learning. So we need to actually understand that. And in this particular video, we are going to actually understand what is the difference it all about. So let's start with the data science. So it is an interdisciplinary field which uses all the different scientific methods, algorithms, functions, processes, systems, frameworks, and languages to extract the information and insights from various structured and unstructured data. So we need to understand first that there are two different types of data. In fact, three types of data are there: structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. So if you are able to understand structured and unstructured, semi-structured is more or less similar, just a combination of both structured and unstructured. So structured data is something which is being used in the market, which we are already using as a part of transactional data systems, as a part of conventional systems for so long. Like anything which is in the tabular structure, it has a rows and it has a columns. It can be stored in the form of tables, it can be designed in the form of table, is actually a structured data. So we are actually defining a kind of, we are actually giving a structure to a data set in the form of rows and columns, in the form of table. So that is called structured data sets, that is called structured. Unstructured data set, which can be your document, which can be your PDF file, which can be your chat, whatever we are chatting in the form of chat systems in on social media systems like Twitter, there is LinkedIn, then there is Facebook. So whatever we are chatting, whatever documents we are exchanging from each other, whatever pics are there, whatever images are there, whatever video files are there, whatever sound files are there, voice files are there, audio and video files. So each and everything lands under unstructured data category. So those are unstructured data. So there is no structure at all, right? So we have this structured and unstructured data there, and we start extracting information and insights from. So we are actually mining these structured and unstructured data. We are mining the data, and we are diving deep into the data. And what we are trying to do, we are extracting the information out of it. We are extracting the insights of it out of it, and basis that information extracted out of those data, basis that insights extracted out of from those data, we are doing some decision making, like in the conventional BI system or business intelligence or visualization systems. We are doing some predictive modeling. We are using some algorithms. We are using some, supervised algorithms, unsupervised algorithms on top of that data, and then we are predicting something in the future, what is going to happen. So everything is being done out of that structured and unstructured data. And what are we using there to do it? We are using all the different types of scientific methods, algorithms, like we have supervised learning algorithms, we have unsupervised learning algorithms. So we are using those algorithms, we are using different statistical functions, we are using different processes and systems and frameworks and different languages. So in order to communicate with the system and learn these algorithms, we need to take help of some language which will help in communicating with the system. So those languages are R, Python. Recently we have Julia is there, we have Rust is there. SAS is something which we have been using for so long, but right now R and Python is something which is widely and which is exhaustively used in the market by everybody. So R and Python is the best sought out language at this point of time in the data science market. So let's understand now what is data science. This is a kind of definition which we have got here, and I have just captured it from the Wikipedia. Now let's understand what is data science. So data science has different components. It has a database component, it has a probability, it has maths, it has a programming language as a component, it has some domain knowledge as well, it has visualizations, it also includes SQL, which is a structured query language. It also requires optimization, linear algebra, and statistics. So do we need to know each and everything? Yes, as a part of data science world, we need to understand each and everything, is because we are conversing with the data. We need to understand how the entire database or data warehouse works, And in order to converse with the database and a data warehouse, we should have a proper or at least a basic overview or knowledge of how the SQL command works. Like we have DML commands, we have DCL commands, we have DDL commands, like data control language, data definition language, data manipulation commands are there, like select, update, modify, insert, delete. Then we have joins, in inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join, self join, equi join. So we need to understand simple basic concepts on database and SQL, because everything is based out of data here, right? Now data is there, now we need to actually work on the data to actually to do some EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. So how EDA is done? EDA is done with the help of programming languages like R and Python. We had SAS at some point of time we were using SAS, right? But right now we are using R and Python in the market. So we take help of that language. But just taking the help of language will not help you. We need to understand some mathematics and statistics and probability, right? So maths, statistics, probability, we need to understand the exact concepts. Like we have hypothesis testing in statistics, we have p-value, we have t-value, we have sampling methodologies, we have population concept, we have covariance and correlation concepts. So we need to understand how those statistical concepts actually work. And once we understand that standard deviation, variance, mean, everything, all the different concepts which statistics and probability has in together, then we start using those functions. So we have probability functions, we have statistical functions as a part of different libraries in R and Python. So R has libraries and Python has packages. So all those libraries and packages can be used. So those libraries and packages are very widely used, and they are very comprehensive. We have specific libraries for statistical functions and mathematical probability functions. So we straight away use those functions in the form of R and Python languages, right? We also need to understand some domain knowledge, because when we actually working on some data, we need to understand, if we are working on a marketing data, we need to understand what is CPC, what is bid, what is bid amount, what are, so there are different jargons which we use in the marketing field. Likewise, if we are dealing with the healthcare data, then also we need to understand what is the different terminologies and how the entire business as a whole at a very holistic view operates. Then only we'll be able to put some business acumen along with our statistical and algorithmic knowledge into it to extract the information and insights from various structured and unstructured data. So whatever structured and unstructured data you would be offered to work on a data science project, it would always be part of some domain, a domain as in the business area. The business area can be marketing, it can be finance, it can be HR, it can be sales, it can be healthcare, it can be agriculture, it can be sensor related data. So all those domain knowledge, we should not be having a very deep knowledge, but at least at a very high level we should be able to understand how this data is actually interrelated or connected with each other. Then once we have all these knowledges in place, then we do some visualization. Then again, visualization can be done using visualization tools like Tableau and Power BI in the market. But during the EDA part, which is exploratory data analysis, and EDA is actually one stage of the entire life cycle of a life cycle of an analytics project. So there we do not take help of visualization tools such as Power BI, ClickView, or Tableau. Instead, we have uh, Plotly and other plot related libraries available within R and Python, and we take help of those libraries as a functions to plot different graphs and diagrams on the screen to visualize the data and then actually understand the data. Like we can actually plot a data in the form of normalization. And now looking at the normalization curve, we will find out whether it is denormalized, whether it is it is a standard normalization, or we need to actually it is skewed, or there is a kurtosis, or whether the mean is very much skewed. So those type of things which can visualize. Even we can have a heat map, we can use tree map, we can use correlations also. So correlation is a concept in statistics, but then we can also use as a part of core. Core is, I think, a function which can be used to visualize it with the help of R and Python packages and functions. So once we visualize it, we can actually look at the different correlation values between the different two variables, and then we say that these two variables are correlated or uncorrelated. If it is correlated, how much it is correlated, whether it is weakly correlated or strongly correlated, whether it is weakly positively correlated or whether it is negatively weakly correlated. So there are so many things in together incorporates the entire world of data science, right? But where does the algorithm comes? There lies the question. Because whatever we have talked about until now, it is all about data science. It is all about data science. So in the next slide, we'll talk about how data science differs from algorithm world, right? So algorithm, where we actually talk about the algorithm, there comes the world of AI, ML, and DL. So let's see what is AI, ML, and DL. So this is data science versus AI versus ML versus DL. So data science is nothing where we actually work with the data. We have some domain knowledge, we have some statistical knowledge, we have probability knowledge, and we are putting all our knowledge at once onto the data to do some data cleaning, to do some data crunching, data munging, data analysis, and data visualization before going into the algorithm world. So that is the entire thing, whatever scientific methods and processes we apply on a particular data set, that is called data science. And that is why I've written here data science is equal to statistics plus probability plus some mathematics, whatever we require, plus domain knowledge, plus data cleaning, plus data crunching, data munging, data analysis, and data visualization. So this is called data science. So what is artificial intelligence? So data science is part of all artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, but it lies a part of data science falls under AI, ML, and DL. Okay. So what is AI? AI is a very larger umbrella. It's a larger bracket which tries to mimic human intelligence. The areas are robotics, machine learning, and deep learning. So artificial intelligence, where we are actually artificially trying to mimic the intelligence of a human. That is called artificial intelligence. That's the word. The word itself says we are trying to mimic the intelligence of a human in an artificial form. So that is called artificial intelligence. Now let's look into the different two areas where artificial intelligence actually branches out. One is machine learning and the other one is deep learning. So machine learning is a very specific area where we try to mimic a human behavior and is trained on a set of data, right? So there lies the concept of unsupervised learning and supervised learning. And there are different algorithms where we actually train a set of data, in on different samples, and that is called supervised learning. And where we do not train data, and it actually we actually just push the data onto the algorithm, and we say the algorithm to come up with some insights, and extract some information out of it. That is called unsupervised learning. So machine learning has two areas, which is supervised learning and unsupervised machine learning. Okay. So what is deep learning? Deep learning is more specific, and it where we actually try to mimic a human brain. So you understand neural network, right? So neural network comes under the deep learning. So human has a brain, and brain has different neurons and neural networks. So these neurons actually interconnect with each other to form the entire neural network. So a signal is passed on to these neurons, and that neuron again passes the signal to another neuron. Then another neuron passes signal to another next neuron, and there is actually mesh. There is a network which is created in the form of neurons, which is called neural network. And that's how actually human brain actually works. So human brain has different corners, and different corners have different neural networks, and each of these neurons has a different capacity to respond, which is called respond to stimuli, right? And based on that neural network and convolutions which we have inside the brain, it recognizes a speech, it recognizes some emotions. So if I'm talking to you, you are actually trying to recognize that whether I'm a happy man, I'm a sad man, I'm a disgusting man, or I'm actually, what is the emotions. So you are actually listening to me, you are actually detecting my voice, you are detecting my emotions, you are detecting my speech, You are trying to recognize my speech, whether it is a male speech or a female speech. So all those use cases comes under deep learning. So deep learning is a very specialized area which falls under machine learning, where we try to mimic a human brain and work and mimic a neural network. So that's pretty much on the data science, AI, ML, and DL. Uh, in the next video, I'll try to gauge into the areas of analytics wherein if somebody is actually trying to enter into the analytics world for the first time, what are the different subjects they need to cover, in what capacities they need to cover, what should they actually expect in the interview, what are the different roles which are available in the prevalent in the market, like we have business analyst, we have data analyst, we have data engineer, we have data scientist. So different terminologies are being used in the job market. So we'll cover those. We'll also cover different tools which are there in the market, which is the best tool, what are the different advantages and what are the demerits and merits of one tool versus another tool. So in our next video, we'll be covering those areas as well. Thank you for your patience and listening to my videos. If you really do like my videos, just subscribe my channel and also like my videos. And also please help others, help your friends as well, just to let them know that this video is available, so that at least they will have a fair understanding on data science, AI, ML, and DL at a very initial level. They actually need to understand what all these terminologies mean and how these terms actually differ from each other. So that's the basic thing. One, if anybody is really entering into this world of data science, they need to understand how these areas actually differ from each other, and basis that they also need to understand what is their strengths and weakness and what in which particular area they want to enter. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you all.